On February 20th, 2026, the Supreme Court ruled that President Trump had overstepped his boundary when he enacted the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEEPA, when he raised tariffs on countries all around the world. So what does this mean, and how does this affect you, the American manufacturer? So on Friday, by a vote of 6-3, the justices ruled that the president does not have the authority to issue tariffs in the current manner that he had been doing so, because taxation is strictly the responsibility of Congress. Now this has some pretty big implications. So IEEPA was President Trump's favorite manner of tariffing other countries. About 60% of all tariff revenue came in through this, set of policies, including everything on China. President Trump, never one to fight back, had some choice words for the Supreme Court before instituting on Friday a 10% global tariff on all countries, which he then immediately scrapped on Saturday, making it a 15% global tariff on all countries. So domestically, there are some pretty big implications. So the first one, tariff rebates and refunds are back on the menu. Several large American companies such as Costco, Barnes & Noble, Staples have sued the Trump administration for this illegal tax and are now due to be owed the money that they had previously been paying. Currently, it's projected about $170 billion will need to be paid back from the U.S. government to different international companies that the United States operates. Internationally, this puts many of the trade agreements into very interesting grounds. India, who had previously agreed to a 18% tariff, has essentially canceled their trip to visit Washington, essentially waiting to renegotiate the deal on more favorable terms. Countries like South Korea and the EU have already slow-walked the ratification of these agreements, leaving them all in a precarious situation where nobody necessarily knows which rules are the ones in play. So, what does this mean for you, the American manufacturer? Unfortunately, it seems as though there's going to be a continuation of some of the issues in 2025 with confusion. The revolving door of regulation, tariff, preferred country status certainly appears as though it's going to continue to be changing, especially as the Trump administration is working out how to best implement its tariff policy. So I would anticipate some continued changes, continued updates, considered essentially turmoil in the decision-making process, which, as we come to see, makes it very difficult to make these plans ahead of us. Hopefully this comes with some downward pressure on pricing. President Trump had already been considering rolling back some of the tariffs on aluminum and steel. So hopefully the reopening of American markets to free trade in terms of commodities will hopefully push these prices down, as we've seen huge increase in the price throughout 2025.